Hello, it's Emtee, and we're back with another video. What are we doing today?
So recently, Emtee went to Botswana.
Okay.
He had this interview,
Okay.
and he was asked about the election year and
my gosh.
what he thought about the ANC.
Oh my gosh.
Let's just check out this clip first, and then you tell me what you think about it.
Emtee, the election, those two. I want to see this.
Tell me about election year 2024, South Africa in May. What's it looking like, man? Are you going to vote?
No, I ain't voting for I ain't voting for They can come kill me if they want to.
Why? Why are you not voting?
No.
Have you voted before? Have you voted
Yes,
before?
I have, and I regret it.
Now we know what you voted for the last time.
So, all I know is ANC from when I was a toddler.
Yeah.
I don't know nothing else. I never thought I'd reach a point that I say ANC.
Yeah.
But
you're
that's
there
where
now.
we at now.
Yeah?
So I ain't voting for these scallywaggers parties that never ran none.
Right.
You know what I mean?
If there was no load shedding, would you say the ANC right now?
Nah.
So it's all about
Nah, it's not only about like
load shedding.
load shedding. Like our grandmamas is suffering out there in the villages and shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They make empty promises when it's time to campaign. You know what I mean? Try and buy poor people's faces.
Right.
And build one house and say, yeah, we're building million houses. This squatter camp will be removed.
Yeah.
Until they build only one,
Just one, yeah.
then they eat the rest.
Damn, bro.
Hey, bruh.
What are your thoughts on what he had to say there?
I mean, funny as he may be sounding, but it's facts, you know? It's facts. Like, they just make promises, obviously, when it's time to campaign, and they go around, you know, to like he's feeling it, because I'm sure there's like, you know, his elderly family members that he knows and he sees from back home or his village or whatever, and how much it actually affects him, and how they, you know, ANC's just been toying around with them. And like what he's saying, it's true. Like a lot of us, all we have known from when we were young is ANC, you know, because ANC had this whole promise and this whole, you know, like, you know, hope for future and things like that. But like, no, that obviously did not happen, and things did not happen, you know, the way that we thought they would happen, or how we were promised.
So there's a couple of things he says there that are very interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's just get the elephant out the room.
Yeah.
He can barely speak.
Yo.
He can barely speak.
Yo.
So his mind is gone.
Yo.
Whatever he's taking is
yeah, it's frying him.
Because his speech is very slow.
Yeah, very
slurry,
slurry speech,
Slunk.
impaired speech at this
Yeah, it's
point.
very impaired. So I think Emtee needs some help there.
Yeah.
So I was just saying this because you can see that his mind is gone, and you must take what he says with a grain of salt.
Yeah.
Don't take it too seriously,
Yes.
because he's clearly under the influence of something.
Yeah.
So yeah, just don't take anything he says seriously. Anyway, so the first thing that he says, right, is that
Yeah.
he says that he was asked if he's gonna be voting, and he says no, he's not voting for nobody.
Big mistake.
It's very irresponsible of him to be saying
Yeah.
that, especially since he's a very famous rapper.
Yeah.
And the
But
youth,
we know why they say that.
the youth looks up to him a lot.
Yeah.
And you can't be saying you're not gonna vote. You're gonna
Yeah.
be encouraging a lot of the youth
A lot of the
that follows
youth
you
to
and
not-
looks up to you
Yes.
not to vote.
Yeah.
So it's very irresponsible of MT to
Yeah.
be saying such things. But then this is where we're at again. Politics.
I
like I
can't believe
said.
there's still young people who think like this, bruh. After all we've said and done, as you know,
Yeah, but politics, like I said before, politics doesn't inspire the youth.
that's true.
The youth is not inspired to get involved in politics.
Yeah,
It's boring for them.
Yes.
It means nothing to them. So
yeah,
if they don't have like a reason or incentive to vote, they won't vote. And NT
Absolutely.
is also showing that no, I don't have an incentive to vote.
yeah.
Because the person I want, or the party I want to vote for, I
They
cannot vote for them.
disappointed me.
So-
yes, and also there's this huge mistake that a lot of people are making is that not voting does not mean you're not. It's like you getting the ANC out. They sort of think like if you don't vote, that's literally sort of hurting the ANC.
So it does help. It does benefit the ANC if the number of people who vote
Yeah.
are smaller, because so the difference is, let's say the number of people who vote are
Yeah.
like 20 million.
Yeah.
Right? They need over 10 million votes
Yeah.
to get over 50%.
Yeah.
But if the number of voters get reduced to like 10 million, then all they need is 5 million votes to get over
Yeah.
50%. So you see,
Okay.
the less voters, the less
Yeah.
votes they need to stay in power.
Yes.
That's how the ANC benefits from
Yeah.
people not voting.
Yes.
The less voters they are,
Like the shrink the
the less voters that
market.
vote, the less votes they need to
they
stay in
need
power.
to stay in power.
So not voting
proper
is
explanation.
benefiting the ANC in some way, shape, or form.
Mm.
But there's another train of thought here that he's alluding to, and a lot of people follow. So, for me, I don't like this idea of people treating political parties like soccer teams.
Yeah.
That's how people treat a political party. They treat them like soccer
Yeah.
teams. Like you have to be loyal to the political party, and you can't
yes.
switch sides. You can't.
Blind loyalty
Yeah.
even.
So the ANC has disappointed him.
Yeah.
He said that he regrets voting for the ANC.
Yeah.
It's disappointed him.
And it's almost like I'm not gonna watch them because
Yeah, so it's basically that. So because the ANC has disappointed him,
yeah,
he doesn't feel the need to vote for
another
party. Another explanation he gives for not voting for another party is that he doesn't want to vote for anybody who has never run anything. That's what he says.
I'm voting for these scallywaggers parties that never ran none.
Right.
You know what I mean?
The main thing is that if I'm not voting for the ANC, I'm not voting.
Yeah.
That's the thinking of a lot of people.
Of a lot of people.
And again, what we said again before is that the rural areas are extremely important.
Mm-hmm.
The only reason he's disappointing the ANC
Yeah.
is because
He's looking back at home.
Makokos in the rural
And the
areas
rurals
are suffering.
If there was no load shedding, would you say f- the ANC right now?
Nah.
So it's all about
Nah, it's not really about like
load shedding.
load shedding. Like our grandmamas is suffering out there in the villages and shit.
That's the only reason he's not voting for the ANC.
So which goes back to who do you focus on if you really want, them votes?
The rural area.
Yeah.
So it goes back to what we were saying before is that poor people and people living in remote and rural
Yeah.
areas do not care if the ANC is looting state-owned entities.
Yeah.
They don't care.
They don't care. Like that's irrelevant to them.
He never said anything about
Yeah, like
state-owned entities are being looted.
State capture.
State capture. You see,
Like
he never said anything.
yeah,
He's like, no, the people back home are affected.
yeah. They've
That's it.
been promised houses. They don't have
They don't have houses. A lot of
That's
people
true.
are practical about politics. That's why.
No VBS. No, I'm
none of
not.
that. That's why we tend to overthink it. We tend
Yeah.
to overthink it. So for me, I think politics. The only reason why we so invested in politics
Yeah.
is because it's bad. It's because it's bad.
Yeah.
If you think about it, politics should be like any other industry in the country right now. Think about
Yes.
banking. Think about banking.
Okay.
Because banking works, all the banks do their services and all of them they
Yes.
work. We don't care who's the CEO of a bank.
No, we don't.
We don't
and
care
their
how the bank is
politics
structured.
inside
Yeah.
and whether the directors are agreeing on
We don't
something
need to
or
know all
not,
of
we
that.
don't.
We
As long
just
as
know-
I can put my pin in
Yeah.
and get my money, then
We just know that it works. We just know that it works.
Absolutely.
And if politics was working, the way it was supposed to work, I don't think we'd need to know all these little things that we need to know.
Now it's like it's because things are not working. Now we want to find the root of the problem
and know all these details that we should even know.
Yeah.
So a lot of people like about Emtee and people in the rural areas, they don't care about how everything works. Yeah. They just want to know that it works.
That's true.
That's it.
Yeah.
So Uti Baluta and whatnot, whatever is happening inside the ANC, it doesn't matter.
Another thing you mentioned is like when the guy asked him if there was load shedding, would he still say F the ANC? And he briefly said like no, but not to say that he'd be completely happy with them. But just like I think like a lot of people, that would be a sign to show that they're actually doing something. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like the load shedding and the constant load shedding, and now of so many years now of load shedding, it's a clear indication to people that it's just not working. It's just not working. Yes, maybe if they had fixed the load shedding issue, and we'd be like right now we wouldn't be as mad. You know what I'm saying? But that's quite an interesting thing you added there.
So again, this trend of thinking is very important to note, because this is how a lot of people, the youth think like this. If there's nobody interesting to vote for, then they just won't vote at all. Yeah. This is also how a lot of people in the rural areas think as well. If I'm not voting for my party, then I'm not voting at all.
So how do we change that? That's what we need to focus on, is how do we change that? How do we make people re-interested in politics to the point where they can explore other options when their option is not working out?
Again, if you think about it in the context of service providers, like if you're not happy with your bank, there's always an alternative that's as good as your bank or better. So again, our political opposition needs to be better. There's also like a bit of education that's required. So I think political education, voter education should also be incorporated in schools. Like I put in LO or something.
Yep, that's actually interesting.
Put in LO. Yeah. This is the
let it be an actual thing.
Of a voter.
Like you don't have to go in depth with politics, but like
make them understand the importance of voting and your rights and the power that you hold when you vote.
Yeah.
All those little things. Just put it in a subject like LO or
what to look for when you're looking for a party and things like that.
So there's quite a bit of work you can also, like in your communities, like in your churches, your pastors need to be informing the people that no, this year's an election year, you guys need to go out and vote. Community leaders need to get involved as well. They need to push people.
But they kind of try to separate church and state.
I'm just saying, the church is still part of the state. And the church should be encouraging people to participate in state affairs, even though I get it that you're there for your religious beliefs and stuff like that. But something as important as an election should be mentioned in your church. That this year we voting. Even when you go out to a game, like you go out to watch Chiefs or something, Pirates, they must inform the people that are watching it. You guys must go out and vote. Everywhere they go.
In fact, that's all we should be hearing now from almost everything that we're playing. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you vote on the like something.
Even the celebrities need to play. When you go into Groove and there's somebody DJing there, they need to stop and be like, don't forget to
promote voting. Don't promote parties. Promote
voting. That's all. That's how you're gonna get the youth involved. Especially like your celebrities and the people that the youth look up to. They need to play their parts as well. They have the influence. And they need to play their parts and get people to vote. So that's why I'm saying that Emtee is very irresponsible for saying
that, because a lot of people are gonna be behind him and be like, actually, man, why am I voting?
So again, there's also this mentality that a lot of people have that the ANC is end all be all. So either vote for the ANC or don't vote at all, which is a very dangerous mindset to have. And that means the ANC still has a hold on a lot of people. And that also needs to be changed. And better opposition party is the only way to change that. So this is a very interesting point of view from Emtee.
Very interesting.
And again, this shows that the ANC
very honest one.
The ANC support is dwindling. People are not happy with the ANC at all. And it's gotten to a point where even an ANC loyalist is choosing not to vote.
Yeah.
Because the ANC has just become.
And there's many more like him.
Anyway, you guys just let us know what you think about this whole situation.
Yeah, let us know.
Don't forget to like and subscribe.
And keep watching. Goodbye.
We'll check you guys in the next one.